Well, hello there. How you doing? My name is Paul, and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, feel free to stay a while, subscribe, kick off your shoes, leave your dignity at the door. We don't have time for that. So, to be honest, I wanted to make a video about Crucible. The state of Crucible, more importantly, how I would fix it if I had the control and ability to balance Crucible, how I would personally fix it and add solutions to the problems. And I'm that guy that occasionally, all the time, blast Bungie publicly on the state of their game. The fact that Crucible has had so many red bars, so many problems. The fact that every meta always have overpowered weapons, and we've never been really at actual balanced experiences. And there's so many crutches and handicaps in the game. And I've always been that guy to put them out on it. So I wanted to create a fun little exercise, which is really funny because I don't know a damn thing about exercise. Look at me. And I really do think that I have some cool solutions to some of the problems that plague Crucible. So here we go. We're going to start in. We're going to jump right into the big stuff, the heated controversy, which is the overpowered weapons. Right now, in the meta, as it currently stands, the last word, the thorn, and even a little bit on the OP edge is the Mida multi-tool, or what I like to call the meta multi-tool, right? So, the way you can really tell if you're getting close to pure weapon balance in a game is when you remove the strongest one, and you ask yourself next, hey, what would I go to then? And if it becomes harder and harder for you to make a decision on what the next go-to weapon is, it means you're getting closer to balance. Then there are variety. Then there are options. So, for example, we take away the last word. What's everybody going to go to? Probably the thorn. You take away the thorn, I'm pretty sure I would go to the Mida multi-tool full time. And then I take away the Mida multi-tool. I don't know what I'd go to next. I'd choose the Doctrine of Passing, maybe an Imago with reactive. The first curse would be a great option. But then, you know, things start to expand. I have more opportunities and options to pick from. And I feel like we are really close to pure weapon balance. A few things need tweaked, obviously, and some of the autos need a little bit of love and attention. But we're really close to having different guns to choose from. And all they got to do is balance those. And I get that takes time. So I had the idea. Remember when the Shadow Shot bug came out a couple months back and it completely just ruined the playability of the game? Crucible was a mess. PvE was even a mess. Everybody was suffering from it. And what they did is they temporarily disabled Quiver. They took it out of the game for a while until they could patch it. What if they did the same thing with the overpowered weapons? What if the last word, the Thorn, and the Mida were stripped from the game just temporarily for a couple weeks until they got it all together and we actually had a great experience inside the Crucible for once? We had variety. That's what I would do. Personally, I would take them out of the game until I had them fixed and then re-implement them when the time is right. And they are just well-built and put together and properly, you know, balanced. That's what I do. Now, we're going to go ahead and shade step over to the next idea. The special ammo plague of 2015 is a story to remember. We know that people really do lead with these special weapons. And I don't know what's so special about a gun you use all the time. And I don't know how Bungie could screw up by spelling primary wrong. It's not spelled S-P-E-C-I-A-L. Okay, Bungie? I got you, fam, though. I corrected that for you. Everybody leads with snipers. I mean, look at Trials. I feel like Trials has way too much special ammo available. People lead with their snipers and shotguns and then use the primary weapons if they need to, you know, for cleanup kills and stuff. And I think that's a crazy meta. They're just too strong. And I truly believe that shotguns are not going to be capable of being fixed. And I feel like there are quite a few reasons for why we won't have shotgun balance anytime soon. And I will address that in an entirely other video. It deserves its own video, and I have really good reasons for why I think we'll never have shotgun balance. They can get as close as they can, but I don't think we'll have it. So right now, I think it's as good as we're going to get. As for snipers, I'm pro sniper. I snipe all the time. It's my favorite part of the game. I love sniping. But I do know that there's an overwhelming presence of special ammo in the Crucible. I feel like they may need to tone that down a little bit. And more importantly, is the snipers are so spammable, they're so easy to use, there needs to be some kind of a drawback for using them. There's so many times that I, you know, am fighting a sniper and I'm putting damage into him and he can still easily just pull off a headshot or a double tap to the body quicker than any scout or any other gun is capable of. You can use those with the amount of ammo in the game. People can confidently just double tap all the time and never really worry about running out of ammo. So I feel like there needs to be some kind of a drawback to using snipers when you're under fire, when you're in duress, when, you know, you're being shot. There should be some kind of suppression feature or extreme flinch. And I mean extreme flinch. Snipers are meant to be used while sitting back. You shouldn't be able to be too aggressive with it. And I feel after you've been shot, additional flinch or some kind of blurriness of vision, something needs to be thrown into the mix to make it harder to follow up shots. Because if you're being shot, you should not just be able to push a button and kill somebody. And they are easier to use, not like super difficult by any means, but I feel like there needs to be something tweaked to specials and overall snipers because they're just too easy to get kills with. They're capable of one-shotting. Come on, they should not be that easy to use. And that's coming from a guy that pretty much loves to snipe, and that's all he does. Now, I do acknowledge that there's a problem there. Something needs to change. Another one that is obviously getting better. We've seen changes with the hammer nerf and everything like that, but I've always been firm against the removal of the extra tankiness, the health from the super abilities. I feel like all these super abilities should be at basic health, 100% health. They should never get extra tankiness, including Arc Blade. And a lot of people argue, well, if you take away the tankiness of Arc Blade, it would have no value. That's not true. It's got the availability to go invisible. You have the Razor's Edge or whatever it's called that can go across the lane, and you have like 10 meters of damage capabilities there. I mean, you can use the kit. The fact that it's not as easy to use is what disappoints you, but you can still use the kit and be really, really strong. So you couple it with invisibility, blink, whatever you got, and Arc Blade can be really strong even if it has that health. It's got regeneration too, extended duration. It's got lots of things going for it, and you've seen the success of Gunslinger. Gunslinger's never had the extra health, and it's always been a strong force to be reckoned with. So I feel like that the average Joe with basic guns should be capable of killing it. You should have some finesse and some actual thinking behind when you use your super. You shouldn't be able to just run into a room, push 2 buttons, and kill the whole room. You should not have to fear for your life. You should know that it takes more than an entire team to team shot somebody, or a high impact sniper to take someone down. I don't agree with the extra health, and that's something they've been getting better with. So I'm glad that we're seeing progress in that area. So personally, I would strip that health entirely. Girls, strip it all. All right, we're gonna go ahead and shade step over to the mobility part of this video. I feel like the mobility is just way too quick in the game. The knee pads, the movement speed, it's just too easy to get from point A to point B, and it's too smooth, and that's what makes shotguns so strong. And what I think is just strip the game of blink entirely. That needs to be gone. That's the stupidest idea I've ever seen in a video game. And I know it's not as bad as it once was, but shooters are about pathing your enemy, about getting the first shot in, about being consistent over time, landing the most shots, more importantly, the most headshots. And the victor is the one that was most accurate and completely pathed the target properly. When you have teleportation in the mix, completely disappearing from sight, going from one destination to another, that removes that. The fact that people can shade step and dance around now, even though you can't hit them during it, it's very hard to path that as well. And even with the Twilight Gears and the dashing, there's too much evasiveness there. You should not be able to defend. So many times I'm shooting somebody with a scout across map, and they're just able to blink or shade step out of the way and completely out of vision. I should have had that kill. He got caught out, but hey, he's got some unfair advantage with the blinking. I feel like that mobility part of the game needs to be taken out. There's a reason we don't see things like that in games. I mean, the occasional dodge or something like a Halo is something you see, but even those have cooldowns and limitations to them. So I feel like that's just an overwhelming crutch in the game, and I think that needs to be stripped. And obviously the big one, the connection problems. I don't even play Trials anymore due to Red Bar screwing up the entire card. It happens, the invincible ones, we've all dealt with it. We deal with it in regular Crucible. I feel like 6v6 is crazy full, jam-packed full of nothing but red and yellow bars. It makes it for a very, very unenjoyable experience. So I feel like that's the biggest priority for them. They need to fix it, and if they don't fix it, they're really, really just putting a dick in the community for that. It's just completely unfair, to be honest, for somebody that plays the game. So that's something that I would kind of find a solution to as priority number one. That's where you got to start. That should be the foundation, the minimal requirements to actually have an enjoyable experience. So that's what I have to say. I know I kind of pointed out flaws, things that I would like to see, but I tried to address them with solutions myself. Let me know if any of these, strike something with you, if some of these make sense, or if that's a good idea. Leave feedback for me. I'm curious to see what you guys currently think about the Crucible meta and how things work and what you think or what you like or dislike. So leave some feedback. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe if you're new here. Take care, guys.